Bullpen. This is our monthly look at markets as we visit with Tommy Grisafi from Advanced Trading ATI Pro Media. Tommy, we always appreciate this chance to connect once a month and talk about where we've been and where we're going. Thanks for taking time to do this.
Absolutely, Mr. Wick. Remember earlier when we were recording, I was talking about, you asked about the bridge, and that was a big news for the month of March, and I said I had saved something. I found it. So what I wanted to tell you is this, when it comes to that bridge, and that was was it Francis C. Scott Bridge?
Yeah.
In Baltimore? Okay. Billions of dollars of export shipments with the destination in Maryland. Remember I told you Wisconsin? That kind of shocked me. 4.5 billion. Iowa, Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, Michigan, Delaware, Nebraska, Ohio. But the number one place with destinations and money coming in and out of, or parts coming in out of Maryland was Wisconsin. And I found that a shocker. So that could lead to some serious supply chain issues, some chips missing. Overall, not a good sign for what happened there. That was, we'll call that a little black swan event, huh? Everyone's going about their business, and all of a sudden one of the major bridges in America falls over.
Yeah, and the Port of Duluth takes in a lot of automobile parts, but also farm machinery parts, and certainly that's why Wisconsin would be a part of that with Case IH and some of the other plants that they have.
Okay, I didn't know, but that one shocked me. Someone posted that on LinkedIn. So as we wrap up the month of March, which was the end of the quarter, the end of the month, but we are 1/4 through March. What do you think, or through the year? What do you think of that 2024?
Well, it's been kind of a crazy time when you take a look at all the things that have been happening globally in the marketplace. We wrapped up that quarter with a supply demand with a grain stocks report and prospective plantings report. What did you see in those numbers, Tommy?
Explosive rally in corn, truly one of the biggest days since last July. Nice day in the corn market. It didn't follow through. Folks watching this video today are like, what are those guys talking about? But last Thursday, markets didn't have much time to digest it. Number came out 11. We were closed at 115, and everyone was off for Good Friday. So the markets are taking another look at it. We've traded very aggressively at downside today in corn, wheat, and beans. It was nice to know corn can go up 20 cents. It's disappointing that it's not up again today. I think some folks were, obviously you talked to a lot of analysts and brokers. We all know that we're flirting above or around the 50-day moving average. When the markets closed on Thursday, a lot of the corn and beans in particular were above the 50. We've since dipped below it. So can we maintain this 50-day moving average in corn and beans?
The corn number was a bit of a surprise, but overall acreage was a bit of a surprise. Like, where did those acres go?
Yeah, we lost them on the western belt, a little bit of Texas, a little bit of rotation, some corn acres. It seemed like every state, when you look at the map, was going to plant a little less corn, which is fine. They're allowed to. Now, I will say this, with that number and the market shooting up, we may have bought a few corn acres last Thursday, and that's kind of ironic that, hey, don't plant corn and it'll make the market go up. Oh, the market goes up, plant more corn. It seems to me, and Advanced Trading Research and other groups that we subscribe to, that when we have a low acreage number for corn like this in the beginning, we have to now all eyes on June, which sounds like the Federal Reserve. We're not cutting this time, but we're going to cut next time. The difference between what we do in agriculture and the Federal Reserve in that analogy is what the Federal Reserve does is a click of a mouse or a swipe of a pen. What we do in agriculture is very physical, Don. We can't fake not planting acres. Some people say there's USDA conspiracy theories, but overall, one thing I know about this, whether we get all 90 in, 92, the basis doesn't lie. The actual cash market's telling us there's plenty of corn, wheat, and beans, and all types of products. Look how, to our folks in North Dakota, look how depressed sunflower prices are. Of course, sugar's doing better, but spring wheat, they said they're going to plant more spring wheat acres. Boy, I don't know, but maybe they will. Time will tell, my friend.
Sunflower acres, as you mentioned, in North Dakota, down to levels we haven't seen in the last 48 years. So this market took a big jump in acres a year ago, and we kicked them back down this year. It really kind of tells you what we're looking at here. Mother Nature, as you know, is always large and in charge, and so a lot of things can change between now and when those wheels start rolling.
Yeah, we received some beneficial rains here. I'm in Valparaiso, Indiana, over the last 24 hours, inch and a half of rain. We got to keep an eye on that eastern Iowa. If eastern Iowa could get a couple nice rains going into spring, there won't be a lot of drought on the drought map. There are parts of North Dakota in a drought, yellow. A couple rains could straighten that out. it's kind of weird because as we go in the spring, you want a light rain, but you don't want too much to leave you out of the field. So if it starts raining and remains cold, not then all of a sudden you're talking planting delays. That's a long ways off though still.
Of course, we've been paying a lot of attention to the funds. They've been short in this market. What do you see here as we wrapped up a quarter and go into a new quarter?
The funds were short. They were starting to cover. I imagine we had some covering on Thursday. I was hoping there'd be some more covering coming into the month of April. Today's April Fool's Day. We don't want to play any tricks on people. I guess the Illinois fans had a trick played on them when University of Connecticut scored 30 straight points without Illinois scoring. I know, and Iowa State fans are a little bummed out too. But here in the great state of Indiana, we do have Purdue in the Final Four, and we're getting ready to go to the Final Four of grain planting, and all eyes should be on that. It's fun to talk about collegiate sports and professional sports, but the American farmer is not playing a game here, and it is April Fool's, and we don't want to play tricks on them.
Anything these guys should keep in mind before they get in that tractor seat and start putting seed in the ground?
Great question, Don Wick. Take a pencil out. Definitely understand that you have the potential this year and every year to grow a record crop. What are you going to do with those bushels when harvest comes around? Harvest is a lot closer than you think. My Texas clients have been done planting for 2 weeks. They're a couple rains away from having a big crop. You are 4 or 5 months away from harvest. What are you going to do with the bushels you can't store? What are you going to do to manage that price risk? Of course, we have crop insurance now based off the March 15th, those February averages, but we're putting puts on for people and setting that floor. Some folks, we could say, hey, sell a little. Beans get to $12, sell a little, but folks up north don't like getting forward sold. They like to sell it after they know they have it. Usually by that time, the market figures it out. So let's have a plan before that done.
We always like to talk about these outside markets. Gold's been strong. Cocoa's been on fire. What's happening in some of these markets that they certainly have some influence on us in the grain market?
Gold was up $45 last night on Sunday night, and I can't tell you why. I've traded a lot of gold in my life. It just happened. Gold's currently moving around. Looks like it's settled here for the day, but big price action in the stock market. Dow Jones was up 150. Now it's down 300. Interest rates are going higher. They did not, it's not to say interest rates are going higher, but today interest rates have rose. The Fed did not lower rates. They probably do not intend to lower rates until that June-July period. So on the outside markets, we have interest rates staying higher for longer. We have a little volatility coming into the stock market. Of course, we can't end the show without talking about cattle. What a wild dynamic month earlier. We opened up the show with Bridges. We have to talk about bird flu in cattle, Don. One for the books. Tell me what you know about it, because you talk to more people than anyone.
We've now had a confirmation of it being in Idaho. It's been in Michigan. Of course, the first herds came out of Texas and Kansas. The Idaho story is kind of interesting because these cattle came into Iowa, came from a herd that had been infected in another state. So now it looks like it could be cow-to-cow transmission, which makes it a little bit more interesting, not just from infection from birds. The one thing is they're finding thus far is it's basically takes those cows off feed, milk production goes down, but give them 2-3 weeks and they're all recovered and back at it. It's a flu bug like we would see generally.
Yeah, and looking at my prices, I don't know if some breaking news just happened or something, but cattle were up 100 earlier. They are now down 500. So that is something really serious. I thought my quotes were off. I went to look at the cattle prices, and we must have had some breaking news because live cattle are approaching what would be close to limit down. Some big news must have came out of the cattle market. Well, with that, we got nothing but volatility. I better get going here so I can see what the heck happened. This is a serious event that just happened to cattle. I would never cut Don Wick short, but I really thought my quote board was down. I thought cattle were up 100, and I looked, they were down 550, feeders down 560. Let's see who can get to the story first, sir.
Sounds good, Tommy. Thank you as always. We appreciate the chance to connect.
Thank you, Mr. Wick.
Thanks for joining us for a monthly update with Tommy Grisafi from Advanced Trading, ATI Pro Media. That's the Bullpen. I'm Don Wick on the Red River Farm Network.